Hello everyone, Mellow the Hedgehog back again. And this time I want to talk about my thoughts on Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or RotTMNT. I'm just going to say Rise of the TMNT because that's a little easier to remember, aside from the abbreviation and what it's actually called. I'm just going to put it up here because... So, first off, I don't really understand the amount of backlash this cartoon is actually getting. We know little to nothing about this cartoon, and yet people are saying that this is going to be the worst incarnation of the Turtles ever. People, you said the same thing about TMNT 2012, and look how popular that ended up. Seriously, just look how popular it got. So, what are you to say that TMNT 2018 is going to be bad? You can't say that because you don't know that. Who knows? It's probably going to be a lot better than the last 3 cartoons we got. But a lot of people are still kind of stuck on 2012 because they're asking questions like, oh, is Donnie going to have like a thing for April? Dude, no. No. My personal opinion, I don't really like April that much, but then again, it's cute and all. I'm kind of neutral on that couple, but that's going to be for another episode for me to discuss, not now. First off, I would like to go off turtle designs. They don't look awful. When I first saw Raph's design, I was like, oh my goodness, they Sonic boomed this guy. He's now Knuckles. For anyone who doesn't know what I mean by that, go look up Sonic Boom. Go look up regular Sonic. Look at pictures of Knuckles, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Compare Sonic Boom Knuckles with Rise of the TMNT Raphael. You can see that they definitely buffed him up a lot more than he should be. And another thing that is different about these guys, aside from designs, is that they're actually different species. Within the cartoons, it was never explained what type of turtles these guys were, so we just had to assume they were the same species. But it couldn't have been out of the question that Splinter may have adopted at least 4 different types of turtles. Now, let me go over each of the turtles as best as I can on what species they are. First off, Leonardo. He is a red-eared slider. At first, when I saw the facial markings, I was like, did he put tattoo on him? Is he wearing face paint? Then when I was introduced to the idea, and I was introduced to the turtle species, and I actually knew that red-eared sliders actually have like red slits on their face, I was like, oh, so that's actually his face markings. Okay. Raphael is a snapping turtle. I can probably guess that he's like this specific type of snapping turtle, like an alligator snapping turtle, because that's what his design most likely resembles, but I'm just going to leave it at snapping turtle. And it definitely fits in with his personality as a very aggressive person, a lot of anger issues, and strength, since he's a lot bigger than the other turtles, which also leads into him being declared the oldest out of the turtles. It was also never explained how old the turtles were until 2012, where it was explained in the beginning of the series they were 15 years old. And now we have a declaration of which turtle is the oldest, so we can make a simple age line. Mine being Raphael's the oldest, Leonardo's the second, Donatello is next, and then Mikey. So yeah, Michelangelo is still the baby of the family. Moving on to Donatello, I actually like the kind of designs they imply with his turtle species, which is a soft shell turtle. He's a tech whiz, and soft shell turtles don't exactly have a lot of bone with their shells, hence the name soft shell turtle. So he built an assortment of battle shells to wear, and I find that very awesome, frankly. It's awesome. They're planting something that is a main trait of the character into his species. That's really freaking genius. Props to you guys. I am applauding with my forearm because I am using my other hand to hold my camera so no one catches a glimpse of my you-know-whats. Seriously, it's hard to speak in this mask. Next up, and then there's a whole idea that I found from a podcast that Donatello looks like he may have a few anger issues. My explanation for that is that he's kind of pressured by being like the smartest person, or because his brothers just kind of pick on him for being a nerd, geek, whatever the word is. And he needs to try to be his best and show that being what he is not a bad thing. And judging by each of the turtles' personalities, he definitely seems to act the most mature, being the smartest, and he has to try to be the one to get his brother's shells out of trouble. Which I kind of need to go back to, like, Leo, but I'll get back there after I get Mikey out of the way. Which is not going to take too long because Mikey is still basically the same character that he's been for years. Still the same fun-loving goofball we all know him to be. But this time they added in a little artistic element. Mikey is going to be some sort of an artist because he packs his shell in the lair. And I have a feeling that we would get along very well if we were in the TMNT universe, because I love art too. Now let's quickly just head back to Leonardo, because this is one of the main problems that fans of TMNT have with this new series. Leonardo is no longer the leader. It's Raphael now. This is probably like some sort of nod to a little accident that some people had the misconception that Raphael was the leader of the Turtles instead of Leonardo. And I don't really have a problem with Raph being the leader. You know, I'm like neutral on a lot of ideas until I get some definitive proof that could cause this to be a problem. And like the creators said in their little inside look trailer, Leo has the qualities to be a leader, but he just doesn't, like, incorporate any of it because he's more focused on being a teen. I actually had a bit of a conversation going on with a Deviant user who put up a picture, and she said that, well, Leo's probably would be like Mikey, and I said, yeah, he most likely would, but have some sense of responsibility since he's like one of the oldest of the 4 brothers. And now go into the whole weapons thing, like Raphael no longer has his size, instead he has tonfas. And Mikey no longer has his nunchucks, he has another weapon that I completely forgot how to pronounce because I can't remember Japanese names. Yeah, it's like some sort of yo-yo on a stick. I don't know. Go look up a picture and it will probably say it. And, well, Leo doesn't have his katanas either. I don't see a lot of people pointing that out. He doesn't have his katanas. He doesn't have one katana. He has a completely different sword. And, I know it starts with an O, but I can't pronounce it or remember how to. But he has a completely different sword. It seems like Donatello's the only one that seemed to have sustained his canon weapon, but he kind of amped it up to be a little more technological, and plus it transforms into a freaking hammer. It reminds me of Amy Rose from Sonic the Hedgehog, but at least I know where that thing comes from. Now moving on to Splinter. I sort of don't really like the design, but then again, meh. I don't know. A lot of people didn't like Splinter's design in TMNT 2012, but they ended up liking him. Now, my main problem with him is that he acts like a downbeat father. That was not his previous traits towards the turtles. What I think is that as the series progresses, he's going to learn to be a little more father-like towards his children. And since they're probably going to put themselves into a lot more danger, they're like running into the Foot Clan and finding a hidden city and making enemies with a lot of magical creatures of sorts. April O'Neil, once again, I have no problem with her. But the main problem everyone's having is that she's African American now. Again, I don't have a problem because in the Mirage comics, it depended on which artist was drawn for the comics. Now, April would either appear to be a redhead or an African American. Once again, no problem with it. So far with character designs and personalities that we know so far, I don't really have much of a problem with it. Another problem people are having is that Shredder is not the main villain of the series so far. It's another character being voiced by John Cena named Baron Draxum. I don't exactly have a problem with it. Like in the inside trailer, they said that they get to add a whole bunch of new villains to the lineup. Like a villain called Meat Sweats. And I know he's not exactly very intimidating sounding, but he's supposed to be like Bebop and Rocksteady. You're not supposed to take this villain seriously. But Shredder will appear, as they confirmed, because the Foot Clan is in there, and you can't have the Foot Clan without Shredder. But he's going to be sort of like a villain working behind the curtains until he feels like the turtles are actually going to be a threat to him. Well, he finds out that they are actually the sons of Hamato Yoshi. Or maybe the turtles were not originally turtles, but were actually kids, but let's just throw that out the window. So far that's all I have to say about TMNT 2018 right now, or Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll discuss a lot of other things like Meat Sweats not being a villain you're supposed to take seriously, or my theory of like the Foot Clan admins and my ideas of where they came from and why they're there. And if I haven't really iterated enough about the whole Leo Raph leadership thing, Leo is going to become the leader soon, and it will imply a lot more resentment towards him, like Raph not being, hey, I'm supposed to be the leader because I'm stronger and stuff. It's supposed to be, I was the leader. It's going to be a bit of a hard time for him transitioning from leader to follower. But anyway, once again, that is all I have to say so far. I'll make another video for my ideas of the backstories of the admins for the trailer, for the Foot Clan, and my thoughts on, like, Meat Sweats. And I'll be doing a video with my little sister as she expresses her ideas and what she thinks she hopes would happen in the series. And maybe I'll just put that as a separate video of my own of different ideas that we kind of wish would happen within the TMNT franchise at some point. But anyway, that was all I have to say about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm Meloetta the Hedgehog. See you later, my gamer nerds and my little weeboos. Bye!